Hi,
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. We are going live here with ProCare as our sponsor, and we're talking today to Patient Partner.
Yes.
So excited to have you guys here. And
Yeah.
so basically, we set this up as we've kind of been coordinating with a couple things. Patient Partner has helped us with a giveaway we're doing next week on the 17th, and we're helping Patient Partner with a giveaway that they're doing coming up. So we'll share the links to that here in just a little bit, but basically just want to introduce everybody, and then we'll kind of tell you a little bit about what Patient Partner is about. So let's kind of start. I'll just go first, me and Brittany, since we're kind of on these calls. Many of you probably know us, but just in case, my name is Brenda, and I'm a nurse that works with ProCare Health as a consultant. A lot of my job is doing these kind of events. And then alongside me is Brittany. Brittany,
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Brittany Patterson. I've been with ProCare Health for a little over a year and a half now. And I'm an account representative with them. So if anybody has any questions about ProCare Health, just ask in the comments and I will, that's what I'm here for. So yeah.
Yeah. And then how about we have a guest? We have Patrick here, who is the CEO and co-founder of Patient Partner. And we have Rana, who is a patient mentor for Patient Partner. So let's let you guys introduce yourselves a little bit here.
Yeah. So hey, everybody. My name is Patrick Frank, co-founder and COO of Patient Partner. I, really started this company. We've been at it for, a little over 3 years. We built this company really with, set on the foundation that no one should be going through their healthcare journey alone, right? And through your healthcare journey, you should have someone to be able to talk to, someone to be able to guide you and have conversations that you can't normally have in a safe place to be able to, meet someone who is very relatable to yourself and understands the journey that you're going on. And it's just been an amazing journey thus far with, pairing up with amazing folks like Rana, who will be introducing herself as well as one of our mentors. But it's just been an incredible journey of seeing and impacting patients' lives every single day. So very excited to be here and for all the collaboration between us.
Yes.
Yeah. And we look forward to hearing more. We're going to go ahead and have Rana introduce herself too as well. And let us talk a little bit about what you do with the company.
Well, my name is Rana. I am a patient partner for about a year now or so.
Yeah.
I've been a mentor, so it's been exciting. So I got the opportunity to work side by side through my bariatric surgeon, Dr. Hannah, and it's been amazing because when I had my surgery about 7 years ago, we didn't have this platform, we didn't have this opportunity. It was kind of try to do your own research and not much out there for it. So now that this opportunity has come up, I've been so excited every time I get this opportunity because knowing with what I went through, my struggles, wishing I had that support system. Patient Partner now has that, and it's been amazing. I've been able to speak to so many individuals who have the idea of it or want or have that fear, and me being there just to assist them stepping over that fear. So it's been great. And, going through something is different than just talking about it. So it's been a great journey.
Yeah. So Rana, why don't you tell us a little bit about basically what a mentor is and how that kind of works into the patient partner philosophy and maybe what a typical relationship might look like. We're going to allow her to go first because she may have to hop off the call. She has another commitment right after this. So we wanted to allow her time to make sure she gets in all this information first.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay. So a patient mentor with Patient Partners is an individual who's been through the process and helps guide individuals from the beginning, probably middle and the end. And I've had that opportunity to work with many. It starts, the simple questionnaires would be when we would talk is, what makes me want to do this? Is this the right option? Is there other options? And I'm very, focused on that word. I'm very upfront in saying, depending on certain situations, because I have those questions too. And I still have my little paper that I had written down everything. So with that, I would guide them through that process, and then they would go see their physician. They would come back and say, do you think this is the right opportunity or right timing? And then there's typical questionnaires about finances, but I always guide them back towards their physician that would be doing that, their surgeon.
And it's so important, like having those guardrails, right? Like to be able to have folks to be able to understand, like what should we be talking about? Whereas, like, are there other folks that I can talk to about those specific issues, right? Like you said, like whether it be like medical advice, like obviously, like you want to work with your physician in clinic to talk through things like that. Whether it be financial advice, like we're all not financial advisors here, so it's always like being able to like just tie it back to like the personal side and the experience side, which is what we found is like, the majority of these conversations, that's when they're taking place, right? And it's being able to, what you said, Rana, is like, hey, I want to relate to you. You relate to me in that way. Here's my experience. That comfort of knowing what's on the other side, which is like really what we have found that allows people to continue to move forward confidently in their journey.
Correct. And a lot of the individuals that I've spoken to, it's how is they start, once they have that mentality of this is what I'm going to do, it's what's the next step. And a lot of the times, and PatientPartner was the one who told me this, and I think that's why you guys had somewhat thought of the idea of the companies. A lot of the times you go to the doctors, but you don't ask the question. You're too scared to. You have that little thing that sets you back, and that's so true. So that's when they come back to me. It's like doing a bedside assessment to any patient, what's going on rather than coming in. So It helps out a lot. What's the next step? How's the diet? What's year one? What's coming up? And that's a big deal. And I didn't even know what I was expecting. Whereas now you have that assistance to someone to help you and guide you. So it's actually something really, really beautiful. So it's a great opportunity.
It's such an incredible call out. Like
we have our we have our first question, so I just want to interject real quick.
Yeah.
Scotty in the chat says, are these conversations mostly post-op? I'm sorry, is it pre-op or post-op is what she's asking? Mostly pre-process or post-process?
Yes, I can answer for us as a platform on a whole, and Ron, if you want to speak to your own experience as well. But for us, we're seeing the majority of them really happening pre-operatively. And it's really because like that's where there is so many different concerns, all these different thoughts that are going through your head. what is that next step, as you were saying?
It's very overwhelming too.
Extraordinarily overwhelming, and I think what I was going with is like it's such a good call out, and the reason why I believe we're seeing that is because you leave a physician's office with clinic times going down, you didn't ask everything you want, and then you think, oh, I wish I would have asked that. We give the platform to be able to ask those questions. Right. And it's saying like instead of having to call back an office, talk to an admin, maybe even getting a hold of them and potentially being able to talk to a nurse, the physician, maybe at best, we allow that to instantly be able, that instant connection to be able to get those questions answered.
Agreed. A lot of it is the pre-process, and it's the little questions that they wanted to ask but didn't know if it was the right timing, or maybe another appointment would be something that they had made. It was something they would ask me, and then I would also be happy to answer at that point.
All right.
So, what do you see? How many patient mentors do you have there, Patrick? And how many currently are you working with right now, Rana? I'm sorry.
It's okay. I've in the past year I've had quite a handful. So it's been a good opportunity for me because it's something that I enjoy guiding and helping. So it actually helps me when I talk to them. But I had quite a few from the pre-op situation to the post-op.
And for us right now, we work with over 350 mentors across multiple disciplines. By far, the largest presence on our platform is within the bariatric community. And we're seeing a ton of these conversations happen every single day between people just like Rana and patients who have all of these questions, who are unsure, taking the next step. And many times I don't want to play down the fact that even after surgery, right? It's this sense of community that you're building with other people who are very similar to yourself. It's a support system, because support is needed not just before, it's also needed afterwards. And it's really incredible. I mean, you go through this process, and I think what a lot of people find out is that afterwards, like, very similar to what Ron was saying, you want to get back to the person who you once were, right? You wish this would have been there, and knowing that that is what helps you get to this life-changing moment in your life. Like, it's almost like you want to be a part of that for somebody else, right? And that's the altruism factor that plays in there.
So you brought up a great point. Patient Partners has expanded, and they have other disciplines. I'm sorry. What other areas besides bariatrics right now are you helping and mentoring in?
Yeah, so we've just recently expanded into orthopedics. We've expanded into we're launching women's health as well as cosmetic, and so really really exciting to see that these other areas have the same exact need, right? No walk of healthcare is not scary, right? Like, every single one of them is strenuous. It is stressful. It is just across the board something where people need support. And so for us, we said, well, where are the areas that immediately are impacted from our bariatric community? We listened to them, and we said, hey, like, where else are you guys needing help? And those were the areas that were most important. So I think it's always important to know, for us, we're always listening to the voice of the patient, right? We are building for the patient, and in doing that, it guides us to these other areas of healthcare.
Wonderful. Well, Rana, before I know we want to be really good with your time, is there anything more that we can have you share? I guess asking you too, how did you become a mentor? What was your why behind that, I guess, and maybe help us know a little bit more about that before, like I said, I want to be good with your time just in case you have to pop off.
The biggest reason was as we use the keyword community, knowing that there's somebody there and available for someone else. This is something that it's a very sensitive topic to me. So I kind of think that it's the same to others. So that's why I think having a partner go through it, or have been through it, it's easier for someone to make a choice at that point. Because a lot of individuals, when they ask, it's the later effect that always worries them too. So why not show them and let them know that it's okay, and the process is easy. It's work, but it's easy, and it's a lifestyle change too. So that's the part that helped. It took me a while to understand, to get to where I'm at today. But it's been a good process. Like I said, I've had that bariatric surgery about almost 8 years now. Come February, actually, it's February 15th, will be 8 years now. So it's been a process. Every year, I learn more and more about myself, more and more about my body, and what I can do, what I could better myself. And that right there just shows you that if I'm able to do it for so many years, then other people can do it as well. And then just get them stronger and healthier. And that was the biggest point of why I did it, was I needed to be healthy. At that time I had a little girl that needed me, and I wasn't healthy. And days go by quick, and so do months and years. So why am I not taking care of myself at that time? So that opportunity came up, and I didn't know much about it. I didn't do much research. It was through an insurance that on the call didn't make sense. So I did my research by talking to doctors, asking the right questions. There's never a wrong or right questionnaires, actually, but it's something for me. But here I am today, healthy, stronger, feeling more confident in myself. And I recommend that to a lot of people who think about it, that it's one of those things that think of yourself before doing anything from that point.
We have somebody that commented, and I thought I'd share it with you guys because it's pretty relevant to what you were just talking about. It says, I love this. I have friends who are considering surgery, asking all kinds of questions. So for anybody who maybe want to gets in contact with Patient Partner, what would be like the best way for them to do that if they have questions for you guys?
Yeah, so you can just come to our website, www.patientpartner.com. There's actually a flow that you, as someone coming to the platform, can take to be paired up with someone who's very similar to yourself. I mean, that's really kind of what fuels the platform outside of altruism, is like, we want it to be relatable, right? The more similar to someone as to yourself that you speak to, that becomes, it's more motivating. It has a bigger impact on you than if you were talking to someone who is completely different, right?
Right.
So you take a questionnaire, you get paired with someone who's very similar, and you can go and then have a conversation with them at PatientPartner.com.
That's great. Okay, I went ahead and shared that on Facebook. Brenda, you shared it on the chat.
Yeah, and how about becoming a mentor? Like, and I don't know which of you two would be the best to answer that question. Let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know Rana's experience was different than many mentors that come to our platform. I'm speaking to both, is like, many actually are supported to us from our incredible physician partners. And for us, it's like, that is a very clear sign for us to say, hey, these physicians are the ones that are most invested in the patient experience. They have phenomenal outcomes, and because they have made these relationships with the individuals who have already been through it and had these incredible results, like, that's a testament to how they care about the people in their office and the relationships that they build. But if you have already been through these procedures, you can elect to become a mentor on the platform as well. I believe it's at the bottom of the page, right on our homepage, where there's it's almost like a nomination form where you tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey. One thing that's really important to notice is that, unlike anywhere else, right, across the internet, right, the individuals that you are connecting with are verified, real people. They have had these experiences. They are vetted. They have gone through a conversation with us and these guidelines that Rana was speaking to make sure that the conversations stay in their lane. They are what's most impactful to patients. It's very different than if you go on Google and you end up in a Quora channel or a Facebook group. You don't exactly know who's on the other side. For us, like, we want to make sure that people feel as though they can trust this, because these are real individuals giving their time, volunteering their time, because it's completely free for patients. So it's a very real experience.
There's a question, are mentors volunteers, and can they help after hours? And actually, I just want to give a shout out to Brooke. I hope you're still on the call from our Facebook page. She had, she's interested in kind of getting more into this world, and she's one of the people who may be a good person for a mentor. So can you help answer that? Are mentors volunteers? Can they help after hours? That type of thing.
Yeah, so mentors are, 100% volunteers. We really want to participate in that act of giving back. With the incredible amount of time that Rana has dedicated to us is just such a, we couldn't be more thankful for that, because it truly is just fueled off of altruism. And for us to participate back in that, we said, hey, how can we join you in all the amazing time that you've given us? Is we want to donate back to a cause as well that you care about. So we actually donate to charities of our patient mentors choice. We donated over $20,000 to over 100 charities.
I saw that on Instagram. Yeah. That's amazing, by the way.
Yep, and it is our way to all work together and giving back to those in need. I think it's that's what creates this trusted platform for people to know we're doing this for the right reasons, right? And we put the patient first. And speaking to the after hours thing, and I'm sure it's been a learning in progress. I'm sure Rana can attest that when we first launched all together a year ago, there were conversations that happened at various times. We've since corrected that to make sure that you're not getting pinged at all different hours of the day. It really is, as a volunteer, we're not going to tell you when to be there and when to not be. It's whenever you're able to be. Very similar to as you meet a new friend and you develop a relationship over any kind of digital means, you are able to answer back when you are available.
Wonderful. I'm just kind of letting that sink in, trying to think here maybe what some of our other questions might be regarding that. So the basic thing is what you're saying is they can kind of log on to your website, and there's a place for them to be able to fill out some kind of application if they decide they either want mentorship or they want to be a mentor.
Yep.
Either or. And then another great way is to reach out to their physician, whoever their physician is. And if that physician feels comfortable reaching out to you. Is that what you're saying? Or do you you obviously have partnerships with physicians as well, it sounds like.
Yeah, and in some cases, you know, we've had patient mentors who have not had a physician tell us to, hey, like, reach out to Dr. Smith, right? Reach out to them, as they have such incredible results. They're such a great individual in our community. I think they'd be really great to have on this platform. That's happened many times, and we encourage them, because we want to know who the best is, to make sure that, you know, every single patient knows when they come to us that the only physicians that work with us and that are allowed to be on our platform are the best. And the best meaning you have great results, you care a lot about your patients, you form deep relationships with them to motivate them enough to be able to spend time, like Rana, being able to work with future patients. I mean, that is just like, that is the most important thing, right? And it's just like, again, it's the continuousness of like great people doing great things.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I mean, that really does make a big difference if you have a trusted relationship with your physician and with a physician that you're working with, whether it's a partnership like from a business to business standpoint versus, you know, as a provider standpoint as well.
Ron, I'm kind of curious, like, you know, obviously we've actually, Ron and I, we've been live before on you know, webinars and other things together. And I think something that has always really stood out to me is like, there's the why of like why you became a patient mentor, but also talking a little bit about, you know, highlight what you can about like kind of your journey to making that decision without them, right? And where was it, like, was there a specific moment in your journey where you're like, wow, like that's where I needed somebody, right?
Yes. So there's a little video that Patient Partner and I did together, and I absolutely love that video. It talked about why my process occurred, why I did what I did. So it was actually on a trip to Disneyland and at California Adventures, and I cannot just not remember that. I couldn't fit into the little one that goes around, little spin, whatever, swing,
the
spin around. Not the teacup. It's in a California. It just spins you around. You're just in a little chair. But I couldn't fit with my daughter, and my daughter was 3 at that time. Mm-hmm. So that right there was when I said to myself, "This isn't right. If I couldn't go on a ride with her to show her some fun, what's next?" And like I said before, days are going and years are going. So I'm just piling on more and more on myself. And I said to myself, well, I need to take it back. I tried to do my own little weight loss. It didn't work. So I said to myself, what's next to come? And I got the opportunity I was at a doctor's office, and they mentioned, have you thought about bariatric surgery? And it didn't click. And I said, what's bariatric surgery? And they're like, oh, you know, just surgery and blah, and this and blah, that. And that was it. And to me, that didn't make too much sense until I was guided towards my surgeon. And then we had that interview talk. And then that's when I decided, you know what, there's other things going on, not just eating wrong. And so they kind of guide you towards a life change, and then the surgery, and then it continues from there. So that's the process. But my surgeon was hands-on, available for phone calls, available for any questions. So that helped me a lot. And that's why when Patient Partner came up and through my doctor, it was an opportunity, because I didn't have as much guidance and as much knowledge about it like I do now. Everybody is different. Everybody's going to learn differently. Yeah. But overall, the experience, it was a positive experience for me. I've met those through the mentor program that are not having the positive, but they appreciated the fact that they had someone help them, and they would reach out for questions. And that's what I'm here for. And that's what I'm happy to do, because, you know, every day is different. There are days where I couldn't eat bananas. There are days where I could. It was just the process of it. So why not help them as well? And so it's been rewarding for me. I'm a big person and advocate to help individuals to better themselves, and that's what I'm here for. And I really truly appreciate the opportunity with Patient Partner and with you guys as well.
I love it. That is just so awesome to hear every time.
Yeah.
It is,
and I haven't been to Disneyland since.
We gotta go back.
Oh my God, I haven't been to Disneyland since.
And we have I just want to say a need who's with us probably just recently. She's been on these calls with us quite a bit. She's watching and she said right on point, Rana. So I think that her why is probably very similar to you. Maybe she has a daughter that, she wanted to like you said, to have a special time with. And, it's so interesting to me that you had the forethought to kind of stop and be like, well, if I can't do this, how far is this going to go?
Yeah, definitely.
It's amazing.
Especially when you have a child. So you want to show them what to do and how to guide them in life too, right? It's a process of them thinking and seeing. So, it's just one thing after the other that, it's a guidance. So, yeah.
So there is a couple comments that I want to kind of bring to forefront here. Scotty says, by after hours, I meant, can I still work from my full-time job and be a mentor? Well, Rana is example of that because she's right now at her job. She's working, yes. And and Enid said, I love this. If you ever need someone in Kennesaw, Georgia, let me know.
We love that. Absolutely will. And please feel free to reach out. I mean, again, we love connecting with folks who are interested in what we're doing. Like, if you sign up on the website, maybe it's confusing to you, and it's like, I'm available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When I say I mean it. I mean, my co-founder, George, and I, we are religious about our email and making sure that we get back to everybody. So if you want to reach out and chat and learn more, like, email me directly. Patrick at PatientPartner.com. Like, I'm happy to have those conversations. Our team's happy to have those conversations. Because it's not necessarily about like a location. We always want to be building our community with people who have a passion for this. And that's what we need, right? That's what every single patient needs. And Rana is able to be there and talk to folks who are similar to her. But for those folks, let's say in Georgia that I haven't met you yet, but you're going to be similar to other folks as well. So,
right.
So let me ask you this. This is a Patrick question, I think. Who helps fund Patient Partner, and how does that work? Like, you're offering so many free services to so many people, but there is administrative costs involved. And so how does that work? And you gave away these huge, this last year, this huge, was it a grant? I kind of like just got part of that.
We actually went through and we met a lot of the folks who run a lot of these charities and foundations, and we actually made a donation on behalf of the company. It wasn't like just one big grant. We really went to 100 different charities and made these donations. But the question around like, how are we funded? Like, how do we even exist with everything that we're doing? Is one, we have we are a younger company, right? And we were backed by some incredible investors in our company who's purely on the mission to want to impact the world. Like, that was their thesis. They said, we want to invest in companies that are on a mission to impact over 100 million people, right? Like, that was their mantra. And so we have investment in our company to grow and build towards that North Star, to be able to impact 100 million people who are looking for help, who are looking for guidance along their healthcare journeys, and make an impact in the world of healthcare. Right? It's extraordinarily confusing. It is very stressful. And our goal is to simplify that through connectivity and community. And then, of course, like, as we continue to grow, there are, as I mentioned, incredible physicians out there that want to invest in their ability to essentially connect patients to patients. And it is not an easy thing to do. It is not. Like, it is, and we want physicians, as physicians want to be as well, spending the most amount of time on what they do, which is operating, right? And making sure they have the best outcomes. They're not a logistics company. Mm-hmm. For us, like, we want to be there to support excellent practices and excellent physicians to be able to allow them to have their past patients come to life, right? And create those available networks, which ultimately is everything that Rana is, right? Like, being able to be there, support future patients. And it is also on top of everything I've already said about our physician partners, is that their investment in that is showing that how much they care about them. And to be very clear, we have rejected to do that because we have the availability to say, hey, we're on this mission. We know what we're supposed to do, and we can't do that with people who are not the best, right? So
it just shows how seriously you take it, though. So I appreciate that.
Of course.
So what you're saying, just to kind of make sure I understand, so what you're saying is you receive some funds from private practices, maybe some hospital settings, and then also how about like other medical device companies and that type of thing? Have you had any funding from anything like that as well?
Yeah, so as we think about like the broader industry, right, whether it be med tech companies, hospitals, even physicians, right, like all together, everybody is investing and knows that the most important thing is the patient experience, right? Like that is so critical. Just like we are all consumers in our life, right, and experience matters. These companies are investing in the experience, and so they want to bring these advocacy groups to life. So whether it be a hospital system investing in that, a med tech company investing in that, a physician investing in that, we want to work to invest in creating a better patient. And that's what we're doing. Yeah.
So, that brings up another question. How about we have somebody on the call that may be in a position to be able to do that? Like, let's say we have somebody on this call that is maybe a really strong advocate and maybe has additional funds that they want to help contribute or that type of thing. How would they go about that?
Yeah, I mean, that is a great question. For us, it's, again, talk to us directly. George and myself, like, those are conversations we also love to have. We've had that, a ton of folks reach out in that area. And just as we're selective with every single individual we bring onto the platform, we are also very particular about any type of contribution to the company needs to come from individuals who are passionate about what we're doing, right? That are mission driven, that care about what we are doing, the mission we are on. Because I talk about this a lot, is like, without that, right, we'll get pulled away from it, and that money is not important to us, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that is not what we're here to do. So as long as it's contributing to what we are, our mission, then that's what we are focused on.
So to go back with those funds, it sounds like part of it is probably just administrative. Part of it is probably like sharing the word. And I want to hear here in a moment how you share the word about Patient Partner, going to conferences, different things that you do with that. But then also, like, I know you said you gave some money away here recently. So how does that all kind of get dispersed, and what all are you doing with the amounts that you are raising?
Yeah, so for us, we invest in creating this to be aware, like awareness for patients, to be able to know that this is here, right? Like, people just don't know that they have the availability to talk to somebody, and that's what we're investing in, right? We have to create that new normal for patients to know that this is available to them and that they should be doing this, right? They should be having these conversations to educate themselves to make bigger decisions. And that's really where, like, for us, as we continue to grow, like, that's where our focus is in investing. And I think it's like, as you do that, what you start to see is that this community builds upon itself. So much of it is the more awareness, the more great physicians, the more great patient mentors like Rana that we have on our platform, that news starts to spread organically. And we know, just like all the other platforms that we use in our life, you've probably heard about it from somebody, one of your friends, families, neighbors, whoever it may be. We see a world where that's really creating.
So, I'm listening to the background.
Sorry.
She's got people visiting her back and forth.
Well, yeah, but that's like the perfect case of point. Like, Rana, like, taking time out of your workday and being here to be able to speak with all of us, like, the magnitude of how incredible that is like, I can't even express that, right? Like, this is my job day in, day out, to be here to grow the company, to promote awareness, and be here for patients, mentors, physicians, all the above. You're here because of the goodness of who you are, right? Like, that's what I find so incredible and rewarding about what we're doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. And a lot of people are, like, for you doing this, I mean, everybody has busy lives, especially if you have a daughter, you are sharing time time away from your job and away from your family and stuff to help with these kind of projects. So it takes a love of being able to do that. And also I kind of brought up when you were talking, Patrick, too, about physicians and that type of thing and associations with those. From what I understand about what you do, you also help connect patients to providers. Is that correct? Like you're on your website to have really quality providers that you can trust.
Of course.
That you trust.
And their mentors are linked to them, right? So if you want to connect with a provider and you also want to talk to their patients, you can do that, right? We make these providers, available to be able to connect directly in with their office, not, hey, I'm going to request an appointment here back in a week and, maybe get a response that I'll have an appointment 2 months from now, right? Like we need to correct that work because that is inappropriate, right? Like, and to speak lengths about, just like our patient mentors being there and available, our physician partners are also there and available. Our response time is 4 to 6 hours, right? Which for a platform that is connecting you directly into a practice where that's unprecedented. So you are able to connect directly with great physicians. You're able to connect with their mentors, all in one single place.
And I talked to, go ahead.
As they mentioned before, it's somebody live. It's a real person. And that's the biggest key. And somebody, like you said, it's someone who's been through it or going to go through it, or, all of it ties in together. And again, to that beautiful word of community. So that right there is very big. So, yeah.
So true.
I mean, it definitely is. I talked to Timony and Lydia before this too, and they had said there's even a potential that maybe we have you guys on again and talk to one of your surgery partners.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think we kind of talked about connecting again.
And I mean, they are the types of individuals that like I said, they invest in the experience. They know how important this is, the sense of community, and that's what differentiates them from anywhere else, right? It's just, we hold that to the highest standard because reputation is everything, right? Whether it's a great individual like Rana, a great surgeon, that is what's going to create the trust for people as we continue to build our community.
So I have a quick question. No one asked this. I just thought of this. You said that you guys were also in cosmetics. To me, is that similar to plastics? Because that is really common within this community as well, is getting that second surgery. So you guys help find quality surgeons that way too?
Yeah, so we have some really, really exciting news coming out. I can't speak too much of it yet.
I was going to say, did I bring something up on accident?
No, this is great. No, you can absolutely go through that now on our platform, but we have some really exciting news that's going to be coming out, I believe, in March, that we will be really growing in that space very quickly in a very big way. And you're absolutely right. Like, there is so much overlap between them that it was really actually promoted by patients who are coming to us, patient mentors who are coming to us and saying, hey, can you do this? Right? I'm looking into this surgery. Do you have anyone that I could talk to? And we go, we need to listen to that and we need to create that availability for them, because a patient, we can all attest this, you're not just a patient one time.
Yeah.
You have other conditions, you have other treatments, and we need to be there for all of those. And we're starting off where we know best, going to where is most needed.
That's awesome. Yeah, it looks like there's a comment on Facebook. Somebody says, what a great combo platform. And then we also we want to wish Enid happy birthday. She's on our call today. So
yes, happy birthday. She's 44 today.
I love that.
That's the best.
And then Scotty is on this call too, and she actually she just got her surgery for plastics or she's getting it very soon. I forget. So I wanted to give a shout out to her too. She's what made me think of the plastics question with you guys.
Yeah, it is one of the most commonly growing area of healthcare as a whole.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
As a whole, and there are a lot of unknowns still, and we want to be there more than just a before and after photo. We want to be there for all of the things that you can and cannot expect to see. So that's huge.
Yeah. It is,
Wishing
and
you
for
the best on
patients,
that.
yeah, for patients to be up for this to be free to them, to me is such
I know, that's a
big
huge
gift.
deal. Yeah.
We pay enough for healthcare as it is. All of us know this, right? We don't need to be paying anymore. And something that's also really exciting that we have coming out is the ability to understand what your costs actually are going into a procedure. We'll be releasing this over the next, I think, couple of weeks, where you are able to come onto our platform and plug in information about your insurance and understand how much is this surgery going to cost me, what is covered. Have a rough idea. It's pretty darn accurate because we have the information on the other side to be able to say, hey, here's what this is going to be, and you don't have to worry about this, right? So it's just another area where we just take out the concern and allow people to make the best decisions possible.
And that could even really be helpful for bariatric programs. Before I came to work for ProCare, I worked for a surgery program as a coordinator, and that was always a huge question for patients, and to be able to figure out, because there's so many little things that you don't always think about, like all the extras that, you know what your deductible is, what your out-of-pocket is, but then there's all these little extra things to kind of consider. And then there's another, Enid has another question. Do you have a list of plastic surgeons on your page, list of doctors? And do your doctors, do they actually have to pay a subscription? There may be some physicians on this call. Do they pay a subscription to be part of your site, or how does that work?
Yeah, so we do have physicians, I believe, already in cosmetic. I have to double check on that because I know we're in this launch phase of it, so I don't want to speak out of turn. But physicians, they basically, the same way that a mentor can come in and nominate themselves, they email info@patientpartner.com. There's also a link at the bottom of the page that is, become a patient partner physician. There is a subscription to it. All physicians are vetted, peer reviewed. But really what that is it's creating an awareness around you as a practice, creating awareness around you that you are investing in the patient experience, you are advocating on the work that you have done, and really being part of this movement that we're creating. So absolutely, physicians can come on the same way mentors can, and there is a subscription cost to that as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So do you have plastic surgeons? Did you answer that and I missed it?
I believe, I don't want to misquote myself. So I'm going to say today we have an area where you're able to connect with cosmetic patient mentors. Physicians will be being that will be populated over the next month or so. We are launching just in the San Francisco area right now for cosmetics, so we do have one there, but we'll be expanding much greater over the coming years.
And
So if you're in
Rana,
San
I know.
Yes.
I know we're getting close to time. It's 15 till, so I want to make sure you're okay. Are you okay,
My meeting
Rana?
got switched to another hour after, so I'm good.
Oh, perfect. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
She's in Las Vegas, and Patrick is in
San Diego, California.
Yes. Yep. The view back there is just amazing. I just keep looking. There's actually been some boats back there in the water, just kind of dreaming I'm back there.
It's a real background. I don't think it's fake, so I was kind of oh, that looks a lot better than me. So.
Yeah.
So in follow-up, how about we kind of talk just a second? I know you have a little event coming up. It's a giveaway. Is there something we can share on that? And we're partners with you on a giveaway that we're doing. We can share a little bit on ours too as well.
Yeah, so we'll be doing an Instagram Live. That is going to be the 22nd of February. And it is going to be with Dr. Davis, who is an incredible physician partner of ours. He has built such a huge name for himself across all these different platforms. We're doing a huge giveaway for it. We'll be giving away Vitamix, we're giving bariatric cookbooks away, we'll be giving just a myriad of different things. A ProCare vitamin health pack. You guys are participating in that, so it's just a huge collaboration opportunity. It's going to be a really big event. I know how big his network is. our network combined. So we couldn't thank you guys enough for participating in that as well.
Of course.
And the link is live on our Instagram page.
I think I just pulled it too.
Yeah.
I am gonna see if I can post the link here. I just did that while you were talking, and I'm
Perfect.
hoping that I'm gonna try opening that, make sure it opens correctly for people. And I have Facebook open, Brittany. I can post it there too.
It's awesome. It's gonna be a really great event, kind of going through like the entirety of
It's not. This is
preparation. Really, like, what is that recipe for success, right? For weight loss surgery, like, what is like the true like dynamic, like, what to prepare for, what are the steps, all of those things. Dr. Davis, like I said, is incredible, and it's just going to be a really great time, a great conversation, super immersive, with amazing partners like you to be building an awesome giveaway for one lucky individual who's going to be attending. So we're excited.
Yeah, we're excited too. Thanks for thinking of us again too. That was great.
I know, exactly. And I also want to just kind of also mention too, I'm pulling up our link for ours. So ProCare Health on February 17th is doing a giveaway. We have 15 different sponsors. Probably well over $1,000 worth of gifts. PatientPartner was one of the biggest sponsors for that, so we really appreciate that. And I'll provide the link here. I'm going to share the link on both Facebook here and on. So there's still time to register. We are giving away attendance gifts to every single person that comes to. So even if you don't win one of the bigger prizes, you will have the ability to have an attendance prize. Care giveaway. I have a hard time multitasking.
While she's doing all of that, actually, you guys were actually at the retreat, or you had reps that were there. I'm not sure if you were actually there or not, but PatientPartner was there. So, do you guys want to share any upcoming events that you're going to be at in person, in case patients would like to see you guys and meet your people?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There's been a myriad of different events coming in. We're like,
I didn't know if you knew which ones you were going to too. Yeah.
Which ones are we all going to be going to? I think we're planning on being at the same one this year. I'm so sorry, I forget the dates of when the retreat actually is.
It's in May. Yes.
It's in May. I think it's like May 5th.
The one in Orlando, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, it is over Mother's Day weekend. So.
Yep, and so we're going to be.
I think it's the 3rd through the 5th.
The 3rd through the 5th. Got it.
Yes.
Got it. So yep, that's one of like the main ones that we have down. We're going to be at a bunch of different healthcare conferences, which we're super excited about. But we're going to be having a ton of upcoming podcasts, webinars, live features, and partnerships with Barry Nation as well.
Yes, we're so excited. Those are our people. We love Barry Nation.
They are incredible. So really, we're doubling down on our partnership with them, with both of us, with each other. It's just like, guys, like, it's this simple. It takes a village to do incredible things, and we're all here on the same mission. So working together in different ways, being able to support people through their journeys, like, we're all here on this same mission, and working together, that gives us the best chance of accomplishing that.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm posting the retreat link here too, in case anybody decides to come and see you in person. Me and Brittany plan to be there. I'm actually speaking, which I'm super excited about. I'm going to be talking about eating when you're ordering out and that type of thing. And then also we're doing one on relationships. So, and we actually have a code that people can use. It's called ProCare when they register. It just helps them track where people are coming from. So if anybody decides to register, I'll also put it on I put it on Facebook. I'll put it up here on.
And again, if anyone wants to reach out and talk to us, learn more about being a mentor, physician, or a patient, like, you can DM us on Instagram as well. Like, use what's at your disposal to reach out to us, right? Like, it's easy. Our team is incredible here, right? Like, we are on top of it, and when we have folks who are interested in being a part of what we're doing, we move on that very quickly. Again, the opportunity is so big, and please feel free to reach out to us in any way as well.
Well, thank you. Is there anything closing that we can say that you guys want to add to regarding this? Because we're getting close to time.
I mean, I will simply say is like what we are doing would not be possible without people like Rana. Like, full stop. Our platform, we can build technology all day, right? But it is not possible without incredible people willing to give back to those who are in need of it. So that is how our platform works. That is what powers it. So
thank you to both of you. I mean,
Yes.
to be able to
Thank you for the
start
opportunity.
starting something this big and allowing it to reach so many people, and Rana, with the people that you are touching and meeting and helping. I mean, you just never know. Today, Brittany and I was on a call before this, and I said, you just never know. That one person that you touches so many other people. It's a ripple effect.
Yes.
And when you affect them positively, you're affecting the world in general, because that one person affects 10 people. Those 10 people affects 10 people, life goes on. If you're affecting somebody positively to be kind of like who they are, because to me, bariatric surgery is really just becoming more of who you are. You're kind of like letting off all those layers. You're becoming more of your genuine self, I think. And I had bariatric surgery too, so I understand.
Absolutely. That's awesome. It. We're bringing out the best versions of all of ourselves.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I'm making sure there's no more comments or anything. It looks like that Ina is saying thank you for all this amazing, great information. Right on point. All. And I'm looking over at Facebook. Brittany, do you have anything?
No, I don't. I just want to thank our guests for coming once again, for setting aside the time. And it sounds like Brenda's going to be at the retreat for sure. And we're kind of trying to figure out who on the ProCare Health team is going to be there right now. It sounds like maybe I will be there. Fingers crossed. I would love to go to Orlando.
Yeah, we'll all be there. It's super fun.
Yeah. And then we can all hang out in person finally. Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Make it happen.
Cheers.
Thank you guys so much again for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Of course. I look forward to seeing you guys.
Thank you.
All righty.
Yes.
Likewise, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.